Alright guys, this is vlog number 10. What do I do with my hands? I'm super tired today. I mentally exhausted myself. I participated in a writing contest for, I don't know what the group was called. It's like New York City, like NYC something, but it's a 250 word microfiction story. So you get a 250 word limit, and then at 11:59 on the 20th, so yesterday, they like assigned your group. So there's like 120 different groups, and there's like 5,400 people doing the contest, and you get a genre, then you get an action, and then you get a word. So mine was a romance. The genre was romance. The action was boarding an airplane, and the word was code. So I had to write a romance fiction, and then I had to, somewhere in the story, be boarding an airplane, and then somewhere in the story I have to use the word code. And it actually took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I figured it was going to take me a while, just because that's sort of, I guess, my process if I'm going to submit something for like a contest or to be judged. But what I found though was that I really, really enjoy the process of writing. You know, even though it was just, 250 words, it was something small. I really didn't have too many rough drafts. I did it a little different. Like, instead of writing something, just writing an idea and then constantly concising it, I just started with writing a character. Like, I was just describing a character, and then inside describing that character, this meaning came from the character. So instead of just having this idea, I got really descriptive, and I sort of let the meaning come out of that description. And I just found that one to be really fun. And it's just awesome, because on Instagram every once in a while I will post something on my story that's like, that says, give me a theme or a keyword, and I'll make a poem about it and post it. So I give myself that 24 hours to make sure I get to all of my responses. And it was a little bit of that same format today, except it wasn't a poem, it was a 250 word little piece. So I think I was a bit prepared for that spontaneity, that like this random assignment of something. I think excel in that environment. I wasn't worried about it at all. I just knew that whatever I was going to get was going to be fine, because the creative process comes from inside of here, and inside of my mind, inside of my body. And as long as I'm clean here, if I can create a space to be clear inside, then it doesn't matter what is on the outside here. It can all be a story. Everything out here can have meaning. Everything out here can be made into something. So that creative process, starts out here. There's no correct genre I could have gotten. There's no best action or best word I could have used. It's all just how comfortable are you, or how comfortable am I to write a piece, make art. That's what art is. And I really just enjoy that process of being an artist. I enjoy the process of being a writer, of writing something. Because I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, that when I talk, you get to explain, or you get to like see, I'm doing it right now. I'm noticing I'm trying to talk the way that I write. Like I'm trying to think out what I'm about to say instead of just talking and letting things flow. Because that's the difference of my writing and my talking, is that when I write, I can go back and say, nah, that's not quite how I want that to come off. And no, that's not quite what I mean. Yeah, I want to change this word. After minutes or maybe hours have gone by, I can go back and say, okay, I want to change that little piece to make this big thing. But with words, with a video, with a speaking engagement, a speech, you only get that one opportunity to deliver what you want to say. And what I've learned, though, is that it's less about, I'm just starting to get super tired all of a sudden. My mind is so tired. What I've learned about speaking, even in this way, it's not about the words that I'm saying. It's about the energy that I'm communicating through those words. And I like that to some degree, but my perfectionist mind, my super judgmental mind, judges the shit out of myself while I'm talking, and it makes me very anxious. Like I don't deserve to be talking. Like I don't deserve to be making these videos. Like, what am I even saying? Does it even matter? And it's the same thing when I'm doing speeches or something. Or it's a very anxious, nervous energy that I'm learning to move through. Clearly, I've been doing this for 10 days. Anyway, but why I like writing so much is because it really allows my inner critic and my inner judge to have a healthy place in my life. Because that inner judge and that inner critic just wants to critique, and it wants to obsess, and it wants to fix. And it gets to do that with writing. I really get to make my pieces perfect to the degree of which I deem perfect. And yeah, I really enjoy that process. I really enjoy that process. I wonder what I'm gonna do more with my writing. I wonder, I have a blog right now, but I guess I'm starting to make these programs. I'm starting to write these educational material stuff. So that is, writing is becoming a little bit more and more into my sphere, my circle of business and living and such. So that's true. But I really like making art. Like, you could argue everything is art, yes, but like poetry. Because there's no rules. Because as long as you can articulate, if you can paint a good picture, people come to it on their own, and they don't judge it. I mean, they can judge it. But for me, poetry, it's like, I don't care if like a poem flops or something, or that it doesn't get received well, because poetry for me is what I just described is a way for my inner critic to explain my feelings. It's a way my inner judge can just really express itself and be super abstract and create this thing. And if you can't see it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. If you can't see the picture I painted, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So poetry means a lot more to me, I think, than any of my writing. Poetry, quotes, things of that nature. Because this all started when I was, I don't know, like 13, 14, 11, 12 years ago. I'd come home after like school or sports, and I can just remember I'd have my Acer computer and I'd just lock myself in my room and just read quotes for hours. Like, I just loved motivation and I loved inspiration. I loved reading something that made me go, ooh, I get that. And like, you could say philosophy doesn't mean much, and like, just talking about ideas doesn't really get anything done. But I just love the buzz. I love that, like, just this, like, that's a good idea. I love the, like, that's a good idea. I love creating ideas. I like painting ideas. And that is how I create. It's through words. It's through talking. It's through playing with syllables and shit like that. Yeah, I would just look up quotes and I'd memorize them. I'd get so good. I wanted to get to a point where I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's Emerson, or that's Thoreau, or that's, Lao Tzu, or, that's Confucius, and that's Buddha, that's Shakespeare, some of the other like good poets, Walt Whitman, Rumi. Like, I just wanted to get good at understanding the different styles of quotes. And I think that's where like part of that passion started. And fast forward to 2019, 2020, I don't remember when it really flipped over for me, but I just started quoting myself, and I was putting it on Instagram, and I felt very weird about that. I was like, oh God, people are gonna think I'm some like, ooh, like, I don't know, like, not even sellout, but like, what's it called? Not presumptuous. God, what is that word? Starts with a P, and you think you're better than everyone else, pretty much. And that's, anyway, I thought that people were gonna think that about me. And so making quotes was a little like it was breaking a barrier, because it was like I got to achieve something that I would admire, 10 plus years ago. I was admiring quotes, and now I'm just like, here's a quote. I'm gonna write my own quote. And yeah, so that process took me a long time to get over that. Like, hey, Troy, like, you do have some valuable things to say. It doesn't have to go viral. It doesn't have to hit every single soul. But if you're speaking, if you're trying to create something, it is the truth. It's your. I don't really like that word, like your truth or my truth, because I don't feel like it's big enough. It's still small, like. So what am I trying to say? Like, that just happens sometimes. My brain is tired. Well, it's the last minute of this 15 minutes of vlog, so I think I'm just gonna kind of stop it a little early. My eyes literally just want to like close because they've just been staring at a screen for most of the day, just constantly thinking about words and ideas, and I was meditating and this, that, and the other thing. Oh, okay. Thanks for listening, whoever's out there. Peace.